My name is Maya, and I've never trusted this house, not because it looked haunted, but because something in it always felt wrong. The heating system clanked like heavy metal being dropped down a tunnel, and the floorboards groaned when no one was walking on them. The house behaved like it had a life of its own. Tonight, my anxiety was already at a 10. My parents were heading out for their usual Saturday supply, a 2-hour drive to the big town to get things we need, and leaving me alone in our isolated home. "All right, Maya," my mom said, fixing her gloves. "We're leaving." "Don't worry," my dad added, giving me a quick side hug. "We'll bring back your favorite donuts. And don't adopt any stray cats while we're gone." I forced a laugh. "I won't." From the living room window, I watched their taillights vanish down the lonely gravel road. When the sound of the engine faded completely, the whole house seemed to inhale, like it had been waiting. I rushed to the door and threw the deadbolt and chain lock into place. I told myself I wouldn't move until they came back, but the silence wasn't comforting. It felt threatening. I tried distracting myself with a video game, but I kept listening for any noise. 15 minutes later, during a loading screen, a violent crash exploded from the back of the house. This wasn't the usual clanking pipes. It sounded like a tower of ceramic plates smashing against concrete. Every muscle in my body froze. I held my breath, waiting for another sound, but nothing came. Not even the house's usual moans. Probably something fell in the garage, I told myself, or an animal knocked something over. I wanted something to defend myself with. In the study, my parents kept a heavy ceremonial letter opener, basically a small dagger. I moved across the rug slowly to avoid making the floor creak. Just as I reached the study door, someone began pounding on the front door. Loud, urgent, almost desperate. Relief flooded through me. My parents must have forgotten something. I peeked through the peephole. My dad stood there, staring right into the lens. He was smiling. It seemed something was wrong, but I couldn't figure what it is. I unlocked the door fast. "Dad, what happened?" I asked. "Oops, sorry," he said calmly, brushing past me. He wore the exact same jacket and hat he'd left in. "I forgot something important." I locked the door behind him, relieved not to be alone anymore. "What did you forget?" He stared at the antique map hanging by the stairs. He didn't answer at first. "The second key for the storage unit downtown," he finally said. "I thought it was on the kitchen counter." "Oh, okay. Well, since you're here." Something crashed in the kitchen. Hard. "Can you check it?" I told him so he could check it before leaving. He still didn't turn. His eyes stayed glued to the map. "Sure," he said. "Lead the way, Maya." We walked toward the kitchen. He followed, but kept an odd distance about 6 feet behind me, like he didn't want to get too close, or didn't want me too close to him. Rounding the corner, we saw the mess. The pantry shelf had collapsed, shattering jars everywhere. Glass, vinegar, and brine covered the floor. "Wow," I breathed. "That must have been it." I knelt down to inspect it. That's when my phone vibrated violently in my pocket. My mom was calling. I answered. "Hey, Dad's here." He came back for the key. The voice on the line was my dad's, but faint, muffled by wind. "Hi, sweetie," he said. "Signal's bad." "Say that again." "We just got onto the highway exit." "Did you remember to lock up?" he said again. I froze. Slowly, I turned to the man standing behind me. He was still smiling, but it had changed. It wasn't friendly anymore. It was expectant. "Dad," I whispered into the phone, my voice shaking. "Where exactly are you right now?" I asked. Static crackled, but my dad's voice came through clearly. "Just passing the old mill. We're 40 minutes away, Maya." "What's wrong?" The man in the pantry doorway stopped smiling. His eyes is identical to my father's eyes, and he didn't blink. He slowly raised his hand. He was holding the ceremonial letter opener from the study. The blade reflected the dim kitchen light. I dropped my phone, scrambled backward over broken glass, cutting my hands. He didn't rush to me. He took one slow step forward, blocking my exit. "Did you find the second key yet, Maya?" he asked. The voice was my father's, but hollow, echoing strangely like someone speaking from deep inside the walls. That's when I understood. He didn't come back to look for a key. He was the key. The key to whatever had always lived in this house. The reason the pipes clanked and the floors groaned. And now, he was home with me only.